I thought you might like this. I just found this.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
Lord.
It was in a box, and I just found it.
Wow.
That's
You gotta
amazing,
tell us
man.
about that.
Is that
It was the day that she told me. I've been talking to her for years. It was the day that she told me exactly how she left Ike.
Oh.
That she went out the back door of the hotel, or
Uh-huh.
was it the place where they were playing? She ran across 6 lanes of freeway to get away from him that
Wow.
night and never looked back. That's what I remember that story very well.
Wow. That is incredible.
How are you? I'm Terry.
I'm great.
Uh, okay, I'm going to check my recording and make sure. And let's presume, let's talk as though the album has already come out because I'll be running this maybe on Saturday or maybe the following Saturday. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Welcome to Canada. I see, by the way, I just see, just saying, possible dates in 2021 for you. Are you allowing yourself to get your hopes up that there will be a music business in 2021?
Yes, of course we are. But first, hello to you. But yes, we are.
Thank
We
you.
are hopeful that 2021 will definitely be so much better than 2020.
It has been. And are you safe? Are you well? How are your children?
We're good. We're really good. We're out here right outside Nashville, Tennessee, and we're
Right.
doing really well.
Are your kids at school?
Homeschool, our
Oh,
son.
okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
he's been homeschooled for about 3 years now.
And what grade math are you teaching?
It depends between second and third grade. You know, it's you can kind of make sure they get it, and before they move on when you're homeschooling. So that's a good thing about it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, because I don't not quite know how much time we're going to have, so I'm going to cut straight to it. What did you learn about Healing Tide, about yourself, about each other, and about us out here when that album came out, and then it had that life of its own? What did you learn from that you've applied to Heartstown?
Healing Tide? That was a lesson to us that it's it's easier said than done
Mm,
when you are trying to unite the human race and trying to get people to buy in to the idea of we can't heal alone, we've got to heal together.
mm,
And we had a body of work that was really pointing towards healing together collectively, as a whole, as our world moves forward. But then we learned that, well, you kind of have to address some things within yourself so that it's not coming off as if you're standing on your big soapbox
yeah.
preaching this message as if you've attained, as if you have arrived to this is the way the human male or female should conduct themselves. And Hartstown is a revelation pretty much to that education that happened. And we started to dig into it and realize that there was a lot of healing that needed to take place here
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Tanya was really helping me process some of the past pains and hurt and some of the things I had gone through. I was really helping her clarify her purpose of healing in not just her life, but in others' lives as well. And that's just where we are. So there ain't no soapbox, that we stand on, and we're not telling folk heal like us, but we're literally just saying still that it is our responsibility as earth walkers to heal and heal together.
And
Okay.
you asked, what do we learn about like our audience or listeners? That we are all one and the same. Everybody is on the same path of healing, and it's something that happens every day. Like my mother used to say, brand new mercies you see every day. So you are actually in the process of healing every day, peeling off skin, old wounds, sometimes open back up that you think were closed. Right. So you're always on that path.
I'm a broken cast. Can you love my past? Make me a believer. I want to believe you. It hit home with me. I understand that resonates with me.
Yeah, me too. Terry, man, I think we might be brothers. Twins, maybe. That's my line, man. That's my line in that. I want to go back to the question, Tanya. You said something about our audience because it points to that line. I learned that there are more cynics out there, and they have good reason to be. And but I also learned that when you spend one-on-one time with someone, you can very much so turn them. You can turn them to believing again. We had a situation where we were singing in a certain town in America here, and we were doing a concert, and this gentleman, this white male, he stood up there with his arms folded the entire show. And he had on this famous, beautiful red hat that said, "Make America Great Again."
Oh, yeah.
And while we were singing, he was chewing and he's spitting. He was just, his face was pissed, man. And I got to the point of the show where we talk about the human race and unifying and coming together and burning down those bridges, those walls of hatred. Well, we were done, and we were out selling our merch and doing the signatures, autograph thing, and he just kept pouncing back and forth until finally he got enough, what I perceived to be liquid courage.
Yes.
To come over there and
you saw him coming.
I saw him coming, and he said, "I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, sir." And I moved him off to the side so we could talk because I wanted to protect the fans and, more importantly, wanted to protect my beauty queen right here. So we moved on to the side, and he stuck his finger. And he had to be about mid-70s, early to mid-70s.
Yeah.
He was strong, man. He was tall, and he stuck his finger in my chest like this. Said, "I got a bone to pick with you."
Oh boy.
And I said, "Okay." "Okay, sir." And he said, "I'm going to call you a thief." And I looked at him and I said, "Why?" And I was prepared. I thought he was going to sock me at one point, man, and he called me out of my name or something. And so I prepared myself for this because I'm like, "Okay, Michael, you've been preaching about this unification and peace and everything. Well, you about to have to live it for real now because this guy's ready for you."
Oh, man.
And I said, "Why are you calling me a thief, sir?" And he lowered his head and he looked at me and he said, "Because you stole the hatred I had in my heart." And he began to cry and he said, "I came here with it, brother, and I can't find it." And he started crying. He threw his hat to the ground, and I grabbed his hat up off the ground and I hugged him and I held him. He cried like a baby, and I could feel years of breaking down. And I gave him the hat, and I asked him why did he feel like that in the first place. And he explained to me one of the saddest stories, a quick sad story I ever heard. But he and his wife, they were walking out of a movie theater, and 5 young African Americans jumped on him and beat him bad for $5 and paralyzed his wife. She is no longer able to move. And that day he was filled with the hatred for the black male and black female. And on behalf of people that look like me, I told him that we were sorry. I'm sorry. And that we've got to love together to get past it. And he is one of the most faithful believers and fans of the Warren Treaty. And he sticks out and he preaches about loving the brother and sister. So broken cast can be loved. Broken people can be fixed. And, everybody wants something to believe in.
Did you think about that man in one of these songs as you were writing this?
Absolutely.
Was it Heartstown?
Oh yes, absolutely. absolutely. Because face to face with him, our eyes were speaking a language that our mouths wasn't.
Okay.
I could tell that we wanted to move forward.
Tanya, do you have a thought there, or do you want to? Can I ask you another question?
Oh yeah, you can ask another question.
Thank you. I was thinking about the crossroads. I was thinking about where you two met, and then I think I read something previous, way back when I was first checking you out, that you saw him. No, you were doing Sister Act 2. That's right. And you saw her on the screen, and you fell in love with this beat. What happened?
Yeah, my mother brought home a movie for me and my siblings. We were so little at the time, and it was a family movie. And she said, "Let's put this in," and she put the movie in, and it was Sister Act 2, Whoopi Goldberg, and I was enthralled by it because one of my favorite actors of all time was in it, Mr. James Coburn.
Ah, yeah.
I was very excited, and I didn't even realize it was a children's film, with young people in it. And this creature came across the screen singing. And I will tell you, and I say this, and she'll probably kill me for saying this, but I was 9 years old, and I looked over at my mother and my father, and I said, "That's my wife." And they just thought it was hilarious. And Dad said, "What are you gonna do? Go to Hollywood and find her?" I said, "No."
And how long did it take for you to finally tell her and see her and fall in love with her?
When I first saw her in person, I was smitten. I was in love. In
And
fact,
how old were you?
let's see. That was in 2010.
Okay, fine.
I'm 38. I was about 27 years old
Okay.
at the time, and she's just glorious. And
And did she start to back up?
yeah, she had nothing for me, man. I wedding bells when I first saw her, and she looked at me and saw like this dude who's irritating. Like, get away.
So not true. That's not. No, the moment I met him,
Stop it. I had a
I
girlfriend.
gave him. Yeah, he did have a girlfriend, but I gave him my phone number, and he threw it away. He threw it away, and he was just a really nice man when I met him. Incredibly talented. I had the opportunity that day to see him perform, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" Because I kind of at that moment in my life, I wasn't really doing music the way I wanted to. I kind of lost the zeal to do it, and he had this fire with him when he was performing. I was like, I have to know him as a human being. I have to know this guy.
Well then, Tanya, tell me about 5 more minutes. First of all, I'm crazy about the horns, but that's just a whole other thing. I love the song. What's the core of that song? What are you saying? How did it come to be?
Well, it came from one of the experiences we had back in Albion, Michigan, when we had spent some time in Maryland where we were homeless, and we moved to Michigan to kind of get a new start. And Michael at the time was in therapy and really had to unravel all over again from his time at war. And he was going up and down with his emotions and the trauma that he was experiencing with combat PTSD. And this particular day, he just decided that this was it.
Yeah.
It reached its pinnacle inside of him, and he was like, I can't do this anymore. And I saw it in him. So I called his therapist. She immediately told me to call the Albion police department, and I did. And Michael, he was just done. He was I had never seen him at that point. And so I went over to him and I asked him, just give me 5 more minutes. Don't do anything. Look at your son, look at me. Don't do anything that you regret. If you just take this moment to just let me love on you, let me encourage you. The police department is here. Everybody, this town, we all need you. And he decided to give himself that time, that 5 minutes. And the 5 minutes, as we have said, has turned into many days of love and joy and celebration of
5 minutes at a time.
5 minutes at a time. That's
My
it.
goodness. Now I now understand the power of that tune. I really do. The other one is Take Me In. It had to be the last track on the album simply because what else can you possibly put on the other side of that song? That song gives it all to you. How long you been packing that song around?
Oh wow. We had been touring this song, I guess, for about 2 years. We performed it with the at festivals and at shows. And this is before everything that's taking place in America. We just saw this urgency in our, with our fans that we were encountering, where people just wanted to be accepted. Whether they had different preferences, relationship preferences, different, creeds and religions and ethnicities. People just really wanted to be accepted. And we found that through our concerts, and when people would write us, they would say things like, this is the first time in a long time where I feel like I can come to a concert, whether I have a white spouse or a black spouse or an Asian spouse or Hispanic spouse, and I feel totally taken in. I feel accepted. And you would hear people say that. And this song it just embraces, I believe, what every human being wants. Mm-hmm. They want to feel accepted without judgment, because when you're judging, you can't love. It's impossible to, as Mother Teresa says, it's impossible to love someone as long as you're judging them.
You do, in fact, both of you take what we know call and response to be. It's been handed down from generation to generation. You take it to a whole nother level. It is capital C call and response. It is really cool.
We thought it was a funny thing. One publication called us the king and queen, the new king and queen of country gospel. I had never heard that term before, like soul gospel or whatever. But we do take from the church. That whole call and response thing is where we found it famously patent. And but I think that the thing that we're giving out here is a true sense of belief that that unification comes from deep down in the soul.
You just went, it kind of froze, went, no. Now, one more thing. It shows itself as well in Lonely in My Grief, which I would love to hear Bobby Bland sing. That's just me.
Yeah.
I love that song. Live on stage, that is going to be fantastic.
Wow. We love that song as well. It's a plea. And it's self-explanatory. Don't leave anyone behind in their own grief. Yeah.
Tanya, I saw a comment from you that said we allow your stage dynamic when you go out on stage. We allow people to see two people that are not perfect. They have flaws. They're working it out through music, through love. Is that what we're going to see on this 2021 tour?
Oh, definitely. Oh, there's a fire that 2020 has, I think, burned in everybody. This sense of vulnerability. You're at home, so people are inside of your homes, the places that we consider the safest places. You're not done up because your stylist or your makeup artists aren't there. So a lot of people have had to come undone, whether they wanted to or not. And you have to talk to your fans, as we're, on Zooms and interviews visually, that way. So you're connecting in ways that you never had to connect before. And that in itself pushes you to a level of vulnerability that I believe, a lot of people haven't seen in a long time. And I know for the War and Treaty, it just made us dig even deeper, to come undone even more.
Sure.
More vulnerable.
I'm going to ask you this question to both of you, and I'll let you go. And it goes like this. You have our attention now. Everything you wanted as an artist, you have now in front of you. What does the rest of the journey feel like for you? What do you think? How will it unfold? What do you think?
That is a great question. I just want to be able to continue to empty out myself with love.
Okay.
Continue to go deeper, love harder, understand, live in honesty. And when my final day of being on this earth may be over, I can honestly leave and say, I'm emptied out and I left a legacy of love.
Mm.
I want that to be the legacy.
Michael.
For me, very, very similar. But President Obama, when he first became president, they asked that same question, and he said, I just don't want to let you down.
Mm.
I want to have a presidency that's scandal free. For me, before this interview even took place, you showed us a picture of a beautiful gentleman in that photo. Yes, that beautiful gentleman there. But you showed me a picture of that young lady right there, Miss Tina Turner,
Yeah. In her glory.
in her glory. And absent from that photo is Ike Turner.
Yeah.
So now that we have your attention, I just want to be scandal free.
Yeah.
Black husband and wife band who are powerful together and who don't want to let each other down. And if we don't let each other down, then it's impossible to let y'all down. And that's what I want.
Congratulations on Hartstown. Congratulations on the journey so far, and raising a family at the same time and doing all those things, honoring your mother, honoring your parents who set this whole thing in motion. And God bless you both.
God
And
bless.
and I found one other thing in the same box as Tina. It's Pop Staples' album.
Huh.
Wow.
It's called Peace in the Neighborhood, and he signed it.
Oh my goodness.
You got all the goodies.
He signed it. Thank you for this. God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
I'll see you down the road.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye
Whoa.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the music. Love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you later.
I'll be playing it. Bye.
Bye bye.